everyone, it's Sarah from Wellness. We're going to do a grocery store tour today for smart grocery shopping tips for diabetes. Starting in the fruit section, as you can see, these are different colors. That means you want a variety of nutrients. They're going to have lots of fiber, but they are going to be high in sugar, so they can increase your glucose levels really high. So just be careful of them and pair them with a protein or a fat to slow those glucose spikes down. So the best fruit to get as a diabetic are your berries, because they're going to be the lowest in those sugar spikes. Blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, and strawberries. As we move into the vegetable section, you can see here they've already got them pre-washed and pre-cut, which is great for time-saving tips. You've even got some up here that you can even just stick straight on a pan, drizzle olive oil, garlic powder, and you're done. But if you want to do some time-saving or some meal prepping for the week, I suggest going ahead and adding in the full on cucumbers, bell peppers. And you want to get a variety, because that means you can use it with multiple things. Like our meal plan, we're going to use bell peppers in our salad, in our breakfast egg bites. We're also going to eat it as cut them up and eat them as a snack with a ranch dip or a hummus dip. When you're choosing orange juice, doesn't matter about the pulp. Pulp doesn't add or reduce any nutrients. It's better to have an actual orange, because as you can see here on the food label, go all the way down to total carbs. You've got 27 grams of carbs, and that's seems like a lot, but one orange is about the same amount of carbohydrates. You look, there's no fiber in the juice, when a real piece of fruit would have all the fiber. That's what you want. That would fill you up, keep you sustainable, and limit those blood sugar spikes. And then sugars, that looks like a lot, but there's no added sugars. Fruit's gonna have the highest amount of sugar. I'd rather you eat a real fruit, but this is gonna be your best if you want orange juice. So now we're heading into the meat section. So try to avoid most all processed meats, but when you're in a pinch and you need a good sandwich, local is best. Whatever area or whatever grocery store you're in, Walmart, Publix, Piggly Wiggly, get their type, because it's going to have, it's most likely going to be fat-free, or at least most fat-free, and it's going to be a lean. And it's going to have low sodium. So this is about 370 milligrams of sodium per one slice, versus if you got a processed meat over there, it's more than 500 milligrams of sodium. So you want to do less than 500 milligrams of sodium for a processed or deli meat. Choosing chicken, turkey is going to be better. Avoid pepperoni, beef, ham. Those are going to be your higher fat meats, so try to do more lean, chicken and turkey. We're at the meat aisle, and we're looking at ground beef. So ground chuck is going to be your leanest beef that you can use for chili, burgers, spaghetti, what have you. Choose 80% lean or more. So 80-20, 85% lean, 15% fat. It's going to be a little bit more expensive, but it's so much better for you. Then you come into ground lean turkey. Lean turkey is great. If you don't like the taste of ground turkey, you can mix it in with half ground beef, half ground turkey, and that way you still get the flavor of the ground beef, but it's less fat. We're going to actually be using the leanest, which is chicken, and we're going to do boneless, skinless thighs. So you've got boneless chicken breast, which is usually a fan favorite, but some people like the thighs because they taste better. So we're actually going to use this that we're zooming in on now, because it's going to still have a little bit of the fat, but we can actually clean that off, which I'll show you all next month. So that's gonna be your best one. And then you can also, if you wanna prepare it or already have it prepared, these are good options because they're already all natural. They don't have any added hormones or added sauces, and you can just stick them right in the oven or the microwave. We're in the dairy section, so you've got oat milk, almond milk, half and half, regular milk, chocolate milk, all the milks. What's the best one? Really, it's best to go with 2% or below. So you've got 2% fat milk or 2% reduced fat, which is good, and then your 1% low fat milk or your fat free is going to be the best one. Oat milk and almond milk. Oat milk has a little bit more carbohydrates and sugar. Almond milk is going to have less protein. And then if you do any of these flavored milks, make sure they're unsweetened or no sugar added. See how it says unsweetened? You can even get unsweetened vanilla. Coconut milk is also a good option, but it's going to be higher in fat and higher in sugar, so just be careful and limit that. Versus reduced fat and full fat. Fat free is the best. Cottage cheese. This is a great snack if you have diabetes or if you don't have diabetes and you're just trying to do better. It's high in protein, low in sugar. You can also use that in place of sour cream if you want to do low fat, higher protein. So you got your sour cream. If you're going to do sour cream, light is the best. Low fat, non-fat when it comes to dairy, because it's just going to pull the fat out. It's not going to add anything. We move on to yogurt. Yogurt's also Greek yogurt specifically, non-fat Greek yogurt is going to be ideal for high protein, low in sugar, keep those blood sugar levels stable. You can get them with added stuff. Normally, especially Dannon, your Fage, Oikos, Japani, those are going to be great options. Even if they add stuff, they're very natural, and they take, as long as they're non-fat, or 5% or less. 2%, 0% is going to be the best one. And Fage even came out with a lactose-free version, which is good if you're sensitive to lactose. Now we're going to cheese. So when it comes to cheese, your white cheeses, mozzarella, Parmesan, feta, ricotta, anything white is going to be lower in fat and less processed. But obviously we love our original mild cheddar, sharp cheddar over here. That 2% milk or lower would be ideal, like a fat or reduced fat, which is the 2%. It's not really hard, easy to find, but usually the brand, Walmart, Piggly Wiggly, wherever you're at, will have their version of it, and it's cheaper, and usually you can find the reduced fat versions in that. Smart Balance. This is the butter aisle. We want to choose our Smart Balance here. This is going to be plant-based, so like an olive oil, an avocado oil, canola oil, vegetable oil. This is the best butter to use because it's not gonna be high in saturated fat, which is what clogs our arteries and causes high blood pressure, stroke, and it can also affect the blood sugar levels. And so it's going to have on here your serving size, but as you can see here, the saturated fat is 2.5 grams. Unsalted, plant-based is better. If you don't like the taste of Smart Balance, you can try Earth Balance. These are really good as well. All right, we all need a dessert every now and then, so all in moderation. These are great options. These are my favorite. They're fudge brownie, and they're made with Greek yogurt. So they're only 100 calories if you're trying to watch calories, and they've even got protein in them. So they're going to keep those blood sugar levels from spiking way up, especially if you want them late at night. So we're in the bread aisle. We're gonna be making wraps next month. So how do you choose a wrap? Most likely people want flour tortillas that you see in Mexican restaurants. However, the best one to get would be one of these. You can do a keto wrap or this Mission Carb Balance. And yes, it says flour, but if you flip them over the back, you can see here, this one, this is your keto. It's gonna only have about 11 grams of carbs, and which is all fiber, and 5 grams of protein. And then over here, I would choose this one if you're gonna choose between the two, because it's got 17 grams of fiber, 0 grams added sugar. Both of them have 0 grams added sugar, but this one has 17 grams of fiber and it's got 6 grams of protein. As you can see here, it does 19 grams of total carbs minus the 17 grams of fiber is 2 grams of net carbs. So I would choose this one. If you're also feeling fancy, you can do a spinach wrap, because those are gonna be good as well. Anything is better than just regular white flour. All right, and then you can move over to the breads. Everything looks great. Whole wheat, whole grain. See how this says 12 grain? That's fine. Versus whole wheat, that's even better. Artisan style, not ideal. Anything white, flour, white bread, white wheat is not a thing. Just because it says it's white, that it's wheat, it's still white. They bleached it of its nutrients and they've just added back some more fiber. So I would, and honey wheat's the same. Honey wheat's gonna be a little bit more added. It's gonna have an added sugar, and it's gonna have some more sugar in it because it's got honey. It's a honey wheat. So I would still wanna avoid that or limit that. That is still a better option than a white wheat though. On the bread aisle, don't be too fooled. Even though this is keto and it's soft white, it's great if you do not have stomach allergies. If you've got a strong stomach and you can handle stuff like this, and for diabetes or you've got high blood sugar, this is gonna be your best bet, because it's gonna have 1 gram net carbs. However, all these ingredients, they add in some protein isolate and soybean oil with other fats and sugar and enzymes that can cause stomach problems. But Dave's Killer Bread is a good option because it's gonna be 19 grams of whole grains. Even though it's only 4 grams of fiber, it's gonna fill you up, satisfy you. It's got omega-3, which is gonna help with joint pain, antioxidants, lower inflammation, and it's gonna have less than 1 gram of added sugar. And then anything that's 100% whole wheat, that's the best bet right there. Dry roasted unsalted peanuts. This is the best type. Peanuts usually are higher in fat and carbohydrates, sugar. They're gonna be the lowest in protein, the lowest nut in protein. Any other nut is gonna have more protein. But if you love your peanuts, unsalted is the best to go, or lightly salted. So recently, new research came out that pistachios are one of the best nuts for lowering blood sugar or preventing a blood sugar spike. See how these are lightly salted, roasted and salted. Preferably getting anything that's lightly salted or unsalted, or maybe like a sea salt and vinegar are gonna be better for you. If you have trouble with serving size, get the pistachios in the shells. The unsalted version would be best because it takes longer to eat them. And you can also get them in your little variety pack or your snack packs. Protein, really trendy right now, protein shakes, protein bars, but what's the best kind? So there's a million to choose from. Let's start with the bars. Your best bet is to get a bar that's gonna have less than 20 grams of carbs, less than 5 grams of added sugar. This one has 2. And then less, or at least more than 6 grams of protein. This one has 20. So this one's called Pure Protein. You can also find these on Amazon if you're an Amazon shopper, but they're at most grocery stores or Walmart. When it comes to your protein shakes, y'all probably remember seeing these if y'all go into our cafeteria. All of these are great options. They're gonna have more protein, about 32 grams. And yes, they've got 21 grams of carbohydrates, but for a protein shake, that's actually perfect because there's less than 5 grams of added sugars. There's only 1 in this. So Muscle Milk or your Core Power from Fairlife, which is over here. Y'all have probably seen these shakes. These are the ready-to-drink shakes. These are awesome because they've got less than 5 grams of added sugar and more than 6 grams of protein. They've got 26. So if you're gonna do a ready-to-drink, Core Power and Muscle Milk is gonna be your best friend, or you can buy these and make your own with milk, non-fat milk, water as a base. All right, water, obviously, just straight up Pure Life, Deer Park, doesn't matter. Whatever's on sale, pure water is the gold standard. 0 sugar. If they've got 0 sugar, these are fine in moderation if you don't like water, just the taste of plain water. So will add electrolytes, especially this summer when y'all are out working and sweating and exercise. It's good to replenish, but you can also replenish with other electrolytes in the food. So on here, look at this food label: 0 grams of fat, 0 grams of sodium, 0 grams of carbohydrates, and 0 grams of protein. So this really is water, and it's got other ingredients, but it says only carbonated water and naturally essenced in that tiny little spot right there. So this is a great option if you want to do flavored water and you don't like the flavor of water. It's great also this summer when it's hot outside. Now, vitamin water, it's a great electrolyte drink. It's a great alternative if you don't like the flavor of water, but be careful because these are the exact same vitamin waters, but see how this one says 0 sugar and this one just says the XXX, and it's a black label. So if you go to compare them, make sure that you know what you're looking for. As you can see, there's 0 grams of added sugar on the sugar. This is the one you want to choose versus your 26 grams of added sugars. So be wary of food labels. Always read your food labels. Sugar-free or no sugar added is going to be the best drink to choose.